Hi there. In today's presentation, we're going to see the basics of administration. So this is just an introduction to administration, an introduction to management. The first step is to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean to administer something? What does it mean to manage something? Administration or management, let's take them as synonyms in today's presentation, may be summarized by the acronym PODC. P for planning, O for organization, D for direction, and C for control. So what does an administrator do? What does a manager do? He plans, he organizes, he directs, and he controls all together. So if we apply these four principles, these four steps, we may administer, we may manage anything we want. And in the management literature, this acronym PODC is known as administrative process or functions of administration. So let's see the differences between these four terms. The first step is to plan. Planning involves setting objectives and goals and how to achieve them. Some people confuse goals and objectives. They treat objectives and goals as synonyms, but there's small difference between them. Objectives are what you want to achieve, and goals are the specific activities, the specific tasks that you set so that you may be able to achieve your objectives. So let's say that you want to take a trip at the end of the year. This is your objective. This is what you want to achieve. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to accomplish. So if this is your objective, you may set up a goal of saving, for instance, $300 per month so that at the end of the year you may achieve your objective of taking a trip. And every planning must be flexible. This is almost logic because we cannot foresee everything that may happen. So every plan must be flexible. And a good tip for us to put this first step into practice is to elaborate an action plan. This action plan is a quality tool known as 5W to H. These are a group of 5 questions starting with the letter W and 2 questions starting with the letter H that we must ask ourselves in order to elaborate an action plan. So we have to ask ourselves what needs to be done? What are the activities, the tasks that need to be done? Why do they need to be done? Who are going to do them? When are going to they be done? Where are gonna they be done? How are they gonna be done? And how much is it gonna cost to do them? This action plan is ideal for meetings. I don't know if you've ever been through that before, but sometimes we participate in meetings and at the end of the meeting it feels like nothing has been established. So these are questions that are ideal for a meeting. The second step is organizing. Organizing needs to answer the question, how will it be done? This is a step for defining responsibilities and hierarchy. This is a step when you're going to structure what will be done. You have to build a structure. And what are the benefits of this second step? It avoids overlapping functions. So it means that you avoid that the same task, the same activity is done by more than one person. And this step also adjusts profiles. It means that you're gonna delegate the tasks that are more appropriate to the profile of your subordinates. And this is a step closely related to planning. If we think we just saw that the quality tool 5W to H includes the question, how are things going to be done and who are going to be responsible for them? So this is a step intimately related to planning. And if we think about the term organized in its base form, we should ask ourselves, is it possible to administer something, anything, without being organized? I always tell my management students, how can you expect people to give you something to manage, to give you something to administer, a company department, for instance, if the basic stuff, your personal things are not organized, if your personal finance is not organized, if your closet is not organized, if you're not punctual, for instance. So being organized is a basic principle for managing, for administering. And the third step is direction. Direction is related to influencing and motivating people so that they voluntarily and efficiently do their tasks. So you have to motivate people to do things not in a forced way, not under pressure, but voluntarily and efficiently. This is a step closely related to practice. The first two steps, things had not been started to be done yet. And in this step, there are some fundamental abilities, for instance, leadership and communication. And it is a differential if you have interpersonal abilities, for instance, how to motivate people, how to intermediate conflicts, how to solve conflicts. These are abilities that are very welcome in this third step. And the fourth step is controlling. To control is to monitor the fulfillment of objectives. In other words, in this step, you compare what is being done to what you planned. So you have to plan first so that you may control. Without planning, without the first step, you cannot control. You're not going to have anything to compare to. So let's say that you don't have the habit of planning things. If you don't have this habit, we could say that you are out of control. For instance, your personal finance. How can you say that your personal finance is under control if you didn't plan before? You're not going to have anything to compare to. And another very important point in this fourth step is to register data. You have to have the habit of registering data. If you register data, you will have at least the notion of how things are being done. And if you have the notion of how things are being done, you're going to be able to compare to what you planned before. And if we think better, registering is also ideal for your future plans. So let's say that you want to create a personal financial budget for next month. Of course, that if you have historical data on how much you spent and what you bought over the last months, your personal financial budget will be much more precise, much more accurate. And the great benefit of this fourth step, controlling, is learning. This is the step for you to correct problems, for you to check out what is being done in the wrong way. This is the time for you to identify improvement opportunities. So guys, if you master these four principles, you can manage anything. You can put them into practice. And if you have any question, please comment below and I will be pleased to answer you. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.